Okay, so comparing and ordering integers. Comparing and ordering integers is a very important concept in Math 6. It's probably one of the most important things that you learn about in Math 6 because it's very important for algebra. It's very important for computer programming. It's very important for anything that you're doing in ICTS or if you want to create games, if you want to be able to do digital art, all of the concepts of integers and knowing which ones are larger and smaller is very important for all those things. So our goal today is that we want to be able to compare positive and negative numbers, and we want to be able to put them in order. Here are the notes that you are going to take. So you're going to need this piece of paper, and this is going to go in the first page of your ISN. Again, it goes in the first page of marking period 2 in your ISN. So what do you need to do? Well, first of all, we need to know what these problems look like. It might look like -8 compared to -9. And you have to figure out what goes in the middle. It might look like -5 compared to +10. And you need to know which one is bigger. This is a circle or a box, maybe. Maybe you want to put it as a box because that's where it's going to be compared. It might be in a real world situation where you want to be able to figure out which is higher or which is more. $30 or owing $20. That may be a way that you would have to compare integers. So why do we need to do this? Because we have lots of positive and negative numbers, or not even numbers, but we have lots of positive and negative quantities in real life. I'm going to call them quantities instead of numbers. All right, so what are you going to do? This is the first page. You're going to open it up. So you're going to look at your second page. And now you can see two things about how to compare integers. This is what you learned counting-wise since you were in preschool. You learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. And as you went from 0 to 10, your numbers got bigger. So as you went in this direction, your numbers got bigger. Oops, learn how to spell bigger. But as you went the other direction, when you knew that 9 was bigger than 7 because 7 was further towards 0 or closer to 0 than 9 is. So you knew in this direction, you got smaller. And that's the same thing that's true when you talk about using integers. Integers are the exact thing. If you're on a number line, numbers that are, if using a number line, that's what this is called. Numbers that are further to the right are larger. So which one is going to be larger? -4 or 1? Well, which number is further to the right? 1 is larger than negative 4. If I compare negative 7 and negative 9, negative 7 is larger than negative 9 because it's further to the right, just like in whole numbers. The further the number is to the right, the larger it is. If you look at two numbers, these are negative numbers. Then you want to say the one with the smaller, it's called an absolute value, and we'll talk more about what absolute value means. Is the larger number. Absolute value is just how far the number is from 0. We'll talk more about those later on in some of our other lessons. So let's take a look at practice. If I've got negative 7 and negative 6, I've got negative 7. I want to compare to negative 6. So if I draw my number line, I'm going to look for negative 7, which is here on my number line. And I'm going to look for negative 6. And I'm going to figure out which one is further to the right. Which number is further to the right? Negative 6. So negative 6 is bigger than negative 7. All right, how to order integers. Well, ordering integers, we're just using pretty much the same thing we just did, where we're going to use a number line. And we're going to plot the numbers, going from, well, let's see. We always go from left to right. That will show the numbers in order from least to greatest. This is greatest. Or I can look at all the negative numbers on my list. And the one with the largest, and here's this word again, absolute value. And again, we'll learn more about this absolute value thing in a little bit, is going to be the smallest. So one of the biggest tips to remember is to remember that we kind of think about negative numbers reverse. This is something to try to remember. Oops. So we want to put these following numbers in order. I might even draw myself a number line with my 0 in the middle. Well, my negative numbers are going to be further to the left. So negative 6 is going to be somewhere over here. Negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. So I have a negative 6 over here. And I have a negative 1, which is also over on this side. Then I'm going to look at where the other numbers. Now, these other numbers are positive numbers. You know how to order positive numbers. 0 on this list is smaller. 2 is the next number. 4 is the next number. Then 8 is the next number. So my order on this number one is, if I want to go from least, which is the smallest, to the greatest, I'm going to do -6, -1, 0, 2, 4, and 9.